97.5, the Fanatic, Philadelphia.
Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon. The whole crew is back together again. Best show ever here on 97.5, the Fanatic and NBC Sports Philadelphia. 610-632-0975 on this 10-second Song Wednesday. Let's get right to our opening statements. We start with the word of the day, everybody. And the word of the day today is wisdom. We're going to challenge some conventional wisdom about two particular teams. The Eagles finally slowed down all their big moves, but there's conventional wisdom out there about both the Phillies and the Sixers that I would like to challenge. And with the World Baseball Classic last night, let's start with the Philly side of it. Man, the only two runs they scored, Team USA, is Schwarber and Trey Turner. And the Trey Turner, we all know about Schwarber. We all love Schwarber. He's one outside of maybe Bryce Harper. He's the most popular Philly. But Trey Turner, all year long, we've all were excited about it, partially because all during last season, everyone was just assuming he was going to get here. I don't think we've discussed enough, one, how good of a player this guy is, and it's been on full display in that World Baseball Classic. And part two of it is how they added him to already a lethal lineup that got them to the World Series. I'm hearing this talk about third in the NL East. I'm challenging that. I'm saying this team's as good as anybody. Altuve now has a broken thumb out there in Houston. I don't know how much that's going to set them back in the regular season. Obviously, he'll be back at some point. Man, I'm not conceding anything with the Phillies. I'm not prepared to say anybody's better than them right now.
I wonder if it's because he played for the Dodgers and you just think of the Dodgers lineup with Mookie Betts and all these other great pieces, Freddie Freeman. There's so much talent. You just look at that franchise. And I know he played in Washington before and we saw him a lot, but just over the recent times, maybe that's why you're not ready for as good as Trey Turner is because he's just packaged and sandwiched in between a lineup that was so great. But he's sensational. It's going to be outrageous. Look, the Braves, the reason why people put the Braves in at number one is because they constantly see them win. But what has the Mets done to make you feel like they're automatically better than the Phillies? The Phillies shown you last season, while it was tough down the backstretch, they learned how to win during that postseason run, and it seems like it's getting zero credit.
Let's go with the Mets, number one. The reason why they think the Mets are going to win is because of Scherzer and Verlander coming over there. I'm not buying that. You know what? Verlander's getting older. Scherzer showed some kinks in his armor last year. The Phillies' offense is ridiculous. Trey Turner is a joke above all jokes because he is that good. This guy could hit. I mean, Andy could field this, but we saw him make a great play last night, and Ohtani beat it out, which was pretty amazing. Yeah. But, I mean, in my eyes, you have guys up and down the lineup. I will go 1 through 7 who could game change in one swing of the bat. 1 through 7. That's when Harper gets back. But I look at it this way. If Castellanos has any kind of season this year, this team wins the World Series.
I like that. No, I like that.
It's a bottom line.
But this is what I'm saying. And the Braves are good all the time, but man for man, I'm looking at it. This Phillies team's as good as any team, man for man. And then you brought it up. Harper not going to start the season on a 60-day. They think Memorial Day weekend is realistic with him. He's ahead of schedule. Now, they're not guaranteeing it, but the point is, most times it would have been a no-brainer to put him on that 60-day.
And I'm fine with what they're doing, but fans, just keep it on the down low. Don't get way. You won't do it.
Yeah, I'm on Ty's side.
No, the reason why I say that is a setback is a very real thing. So I mean, if he has one setback, that's going to set it back a week or two. So don't. I'm kind of happy about it. Yeah, I got some goosebumps going. Maybe I am a little happy about it.
You get him back Memorial Day. Here we go. Bryce Harper in the 3-hole.
I would love to see it, but I will say this much because I heard this. I'm not really sure if I think it might have been this morning on Kincaid. And I think it might have been Egan saying, I don't care if he's 100%. Get him out. No. You get him to 100%, period, and then you bring him on.
But the fact that this is even in the conversation, I'm not doing this. I'm not doing that. Pencil him in for third in the NL East, but there'll be a wild card. Nope. I'm not doing that. This team can win 100-plus games. And if you win 100-plus games, you can win any division. Now, there's obviously years where that won't happen, but if you win 100 games, and I think this team has the ability to win 100 games, you can win your division. We don't know how the Braves-Mets games are going to go head-to-head. How about if the Phillies actually beat the Mets a couple times this year? Think about the standings last year if the Phillies had actually been competitive with the Mets last year.
By the way, Ty just nailed it. If you beat the Mets, even if you split the season series with the Mets, last year was it's a different outcome.
Right.
It's a completely different outcome for the Phillies. And think about this. Think about the Phillies' first 60 games.
Mm-hmm.
They were awful.
Right, with that manager.
With that other guy. I forgot he was even here, which is a good thing, I think. But, I mean, think about what they did after that. I mean, 100 games after that, I mean, they were playing at almost a 64% clip.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
These guys are so legit, though. Trey Turner, Kyle Schwarber. These guys, and they know how to get it done in October. These are guys that when the moment matters, look what they just did in the World Baseball Classic. I honestly felt like Team USA was being ran by the Phillies. JT Real Muto in there, too. Yeah. All these players were competing at the highest clip, even with all the other great ones on this roster. It was them. It was the Philadelphia Phillies being Team USA.
They're not there without them.
No way.
Not even close.
Not even close.
Not even close.
Turner, Schwarber, those guys scored the 2 runs. That's why I'm challenging it, 610-632-0975. And now the question's going to be, and that is already somehow controversial for stupid people on social media, and we'll get to the question of the day later, if they could just carry this over to have a hot start of the season. Because how many times have we seen guys hot in the spring, slow start in the regular season? As long as these guys can carry over this momentum early, because they're going to be at the top of the lineup, those 2 guys in particular, and they get the thing churning, I think they're going to be just fine. If those guys started slow, and now your manufacturing runs in a different way, that could be slightly.
But here's the thing. Even if those 2 guys were to start slow, which I don't see happening right now, we're talking about a week from today. I don't really see that happening. But what I do see that could occur on this team, if there's a couple guys slumping, you're not going to slump 1 through 7 in your lineup.
No, but it's also more competitive right now than, let's say, a normal spring training. You're playing at a high level where the competition level is insane.
Locked in.
If they're locked in now, I think that carries right into regular season.
Yeah, I absolutely. I mean, you got to love the way Turner's swinging the bat. He's seeing the ball extremely well, and he's not – if you watch his swing, I mean, he's hitting home runs. He's not trying to hit the home runs. He's trying to sweet spot the ball, and he's got really good hand-eye coordination right now.
And I don't think we've spoken enough about just how good he is. 610-632-0975. Jen, the vibes, how are they hitting you? Doesn't it feel like it's premature to just pencil this team in for 3rd place in any division?
I agree. It's completely premature. I see 100 wins, 100-plus wins.
Yeah.
And it's funny, like spring coming this week, Monday, Tuesday, the weather's gotten a little bit nicer. Mm-hmm. It's usually always really crappy on opening day, at least here in Philadelphia. I'm so excited for this, and I'm so excited to get Trey Turner and have him in the pinstripes here in Philadelphia.
And it's going to be great.
It's going to be great.
It's going to be great. So 610-632-0975 with that. Briefly with the Sixers. Keith Pompey wrote something about a healthy Embiid plus a little luck, and this team could possibly win a title. Here's one thing I don't think we're recognizing when we talk about the previous years. Forget Doc Rivers, Harden, everybody else. This is the best Joel Embiid we've seen. This is the best Joel Embiid. You have the best player in the world on your team. Now, when LeBron was the best player in the world, they were making the finals all the time. When Curry went nuclear like he goes, where did the Warriors go? If this dude is the best player in the world, and at this moment he is, why is this just, conventional wisdom, second round? Whoa. None of those players on the Celtics are better than Embiid. None of those, even Giannis right now, and he's a great, great, great player. I'm saying at this moment, the Sixers have the best player. Why should I just say, well, because of the past, you didn't have this Joel Embiid in the past. You have the best player, and if you have the best player, you can win in this league.
I'm laughing because it's literally like you're in my head right now. I have written down, knowing we're talking about this, I've watched the finals over the years. I've seen Kevin Durant win a finals MVP. I've seen Steph Curry. I've watched LeBron, whether it was with Miami or Cleveland. I know what it looks like when that guy is possessed, and that's what you need to go win a championship. And that's Joel Embiid. Right now, the guy is possessed, and there's not a soul in this league playing as good as he's playing.
You talk about possessed. How many guys do you feel in the NBA, even right now, can go down the court and score every time down the court? He is one of those guys right now.
Maybe 5 guys in the whole league.
The thing is, like we always talk about, he could shoot from outside. He could shoot from the foul line. He could drive the ball. He does things defensively. He takes up a ton of space, blocks, rebounds. People are insane if they don't think this guy could carry him to a championship. You have to be insane, out of your mind.
Now, maybe it doesn't work out. Maybe the Phillies don't win the whole thing. Maybe. Maybe the Sixers don't. But I'm not conceding anything. Conventional wisdom can go into the trash. My eyeballs are telling me that you have a bunch of great players. And if you have great players, they do great things. That's why they're great. And I don't know why Trey Turner, and I know people know it logically, but I don't know if they feel it yet. You know that feeling? Like Harper in the playoffs last year, every at-bat, you had that feeling that something special was coming.
You know what it's going to take? Philly-wise, I think there is that feeling that they could do it. I think fans have that feeling. Yeah. I think nationally, nobody believes in us. You know what you say to them?
There you go.
Get out of my face. The other way around, I think first round of the playoffs, if Sixers go in, dominate, win 3 quickies, and then get out of there, I think everything turns around.
It very well could. And, of course, today we have 10-second song on this Wednesday. Now, you can win a pair. You got 2 prizes again today. You have a pair of tickets, and you can pick. It will be choice. You have a pair of tickets to see Adam Sandler on Friday, April 14th at the Wells Fargo Center. Tickets are on sale now at wellsfargocenterphilly.com, and that's a great show. He does music, comedy. He always has a bunch of guests. I know that's going to be a fantastic show. And, of course, you can win a chance to be with us or next Wednesday for Knockout for Sixers Mavericks. And after the game, you could go on to the court and play Knockout. We saw the first place trophy today.
It's awesome.
Now, there's many people here that believe that the trophy's staying within the company. Or you can go down there, watch the basketball game with all of us, which is awesome, then go down on the court. Jen will be reading all those details in just a little while. So we're going to have some fun today, and you'll have your bullpen, as usual. You'll have your bullpen.
That's right.
Both of them available. But there will be 4 occasions today that I believe we'll get to in which Hunter's your guy. I don't know. So right before 610-632-0975, Jen, did you see the?
I just looked.
How comfortable are you with our closer, our backup closer?
I give him 100% today.
You think he goes?
I think if he needs to save those, he will get 4 for 4.
Nice.
I believe in you, buddy.
So that's the bar. Can Hunter Brody go 4 for 4?
Are they all from like 2016
until
now?
Just gonna have to find out.
I tried for you.
610-632-0975. We'll be back here on 97.5 The Fanatic, NBC Sports Philadelphia. 97.5 The Fanatic, NBC Sports Philadelphia. Best show ever. 610-632-0975. Word of the day wisdom. We're challenging conventional wisdom. Damn it. And we got some other things we're still going to throw out there in addition to our 10-second song today. We got the Dylan songs apparently in there. I don't know what those are. We got a lot of stuff going on.
2 of them.
I heard the Dylan songs might be the best ones ever.
Rhonda, let us know.
I haven't heard them yet.
Me neither. I don't want to hear them.
Rhonda's wicked excited for these to happen.
And I don't know when we're going to get to them, but we will get to them today over the next 4 hours. I'm telling you, we're challenging things. This Phillies team is really good. The World Baseball Classic was like the perfect appetizer. Don't get me wrong. I'm not against the spring training games. But I realize some of those guys are going to be down playing in Altoona soon. Man, these were great players. And a lot of those Japanese players, you saw the dude that's going to the Red Sox, yeah, he's good.
Yeah.
I'm good. I've seen enough. That dude can play.
Yep.
Like, this was high-level baseball. The Dominican team, Puerto Rico, there was a lot.
They showed a lot of pop. I mean, I didn't, usually Japan is like gap-to-gap type
right, you
hitters.
think more Ichiro types.
Ichiro.
I'm sorry, as far as that kind of goes. These guys are over there slugging.
They could play.
So
obviously,
and this was a lot. So it got me like Turner. I'm like, these guys are the highest 3 OPSs on Team USA were the 3 Phillies.
Yeah,
You're welcome.
Here.
I'm just sitting here going, I'm not conceding when we got 3.
Probably would have been top 4 if Harper was healthy.
Absolutely, because he responds to the moment. I'm not conceding anything. All right, the Braves and all of them going to have to keep showing me they're better than this team. Everybody, I don't care. The Astros going to have to do it again. I'm believing this team. I'm not just going to settle in and say, oh, well, 3rd place in a wild card. I'm not doing that. And I got the best player in the world on my team with the Sixers. Damn it, if I got the best player, I got a shot. Something's going to have to happen to show me that they're just going to lose in the second
The one
round.
thing with the Braves that I will say, they play a consistent 162 games. Phillies have not proven that yet.
Right. And but they didn't have Trey Turner.
No.
Right. They
They-
might this
They
season.
didn't have
No.
Trey
I'm
Turner.
on everybody's side here.
I hear you.
I'm just saying, if you go looking at proven numbers,
Right.
you look at the Braves over 162. They've
Every
always
year.
been good
for
every year.
decades. And that's why I think they're the second best team.
They
I
lost
think
Freddie Freeman. I think that's huge.
it definitely made a difference with the leadership.
Yeah, it changed that
It
team.
definitely made a difference with the leadership. So we're going to talk about all of that today. 2 o'clock hour brought to you by Ferguson HVAC Line Conklin. Attention HVAC contractors for equipment, parts, and supplies. For every heating and cooling job, you should visit one in Ferguson, any of those counter locations in Ben Salem, King of Prussia, Penn Saucon, where I grew up, or Westchester today. And now time for the Twitter poll with Jen Scordo. Hello, Jen.
Hello there. Do you think Bryce Harper makes it back in the Phillies lineup by Memorial Day weekend?
Go.
You can say yep or nope.
Mm-hmm.
Early votes have yes at 45% and nope at 55%.
That's fine. This dude's Superman.
Yep.
He's way ahead of schedule. We talked to Scott Lowe. We'll talk to Jason Stark later on at 4:33. We'll have John Tortorella on at 3:33 as well today, in addition to 10-second song. But this is the time he's supposed to be off the tee. So he already went from the underhand we found out yesterday. He's been doing the underhand toss. It started every other day. He's already up to doing that every day and has had no setbacks. So now the next thing is actual pitching. But he's had no soreness enough to keep him out. So it was supposed to be, he was supposed to still be in the dry swing phase with this week being tee. He already went past dry swings, passed off the tee, and he's now doing the underhand toss on a daily basis. He's taking full swings, and those are those violent Harper swings. Now, it's not
And he's taking full ghost swings, too, which
Right.
means he's in the batter's box, almost like a timing thing.
Right. And he's not doing it against 90 miles per hour. But he is doing, as far as his body motion, and we know how that swing is, somehow he's already doing this weeks ahead of schedule.
He's just got to get to a point where he could swing off of live pitching.
Yeah.
And then it's basically like a spring training he's got to go through by himself,
Right.
which is a little different.
Right. So, and I'm not, obviously it's not going to be in a week or two. But the fact that Dombrowski said, if there wasn't a chance of him playing, I would put him on a 60-day. The bottom line is there's a chance. So the question is, does he continue setback free and get back? But the fact that it's even, let's say it's not then, it's the middle of June. That's still 3 or 4 weeks ahead of the All-Star break.
He's going to be earlier than they thought.
Yeah,
There's no doubt.
And that's why I'm not conceding anything. Because before it was like, well, you got to play half the season without Harper. That might be hard to overcome. Less than 60 days, which is less than 60 games without him. Oh, this team's good enough to survive that.
Yeah.
Like, this team has enough players to survive. No one can survive 80 games.
How many games
without
is it? Maybe 50?
Maybe 50 games.
And the
with all
reason why
days
I'm
off.
saying that is because there's a lot of days off early on in the season.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Is this team with Turner and all these other guys enough to survive 50, 55 games? Yes.
I've seen some out there that are thinking we're a little too obnoxious with our, where we see the Phillies go, because we saw them last year have a miracle ride and we're thinking they're going to duplicate it. And then they're looking at the schedule and they say, well, because you won a lot of games against the Nationals last season and beat up on some bad opponents, that we're living in la-la land.
Go beat the Rangers to start the season 2 or 3. Look, I'm saying the Rangers aren't a great team. Go win 2 or 3 from them. Like, with the balanced schedule, you're going to play more teams. They're not all great teams automatically. Yeah, you got to play the Yankees, but you also get to play some scrubs, the Royals, and some bad teams as well.
Of course,
The
it's not
Yankees don't
disrespect.
scare me.
And they don't
They
scare
have
me.
one
much
guy
either.
on that team that'll scare you.
One guy.
And I don't even – will they get Cole? Yeah, they will get him probably the third game.
Yeah, in the series. They'll
But
probably.
let me put it this way. Go back to this time last year. We thought the Phillies were going to be the
Right.
king of the crop last year.
They underachieved.
They underachieved early on.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm not.
I don't see that happening again this year.
I'm not conceding that. Okay, if I'm in La La Land, then have them start losing. But for now, I'm not doing. They're going to have to show me they're not legit, because on paper they are, and I'm going to believe the paper because these are proven guys. These aren't rookies. They're coming out the draft. These aren't prospects.
Yeah.
These are stud guys. I'm not supposed to believe in Trey Turner.
Well, a
and
lot of
Schwarber.
people say the pitching. No problem with the bullpen. I think we have zero problem with the bullpen.
We're not even talking
And
about
even-
Gregory Soto, by the way. That's a huge move from Dave Dombrowski.
Yeah,
Huge
he got there late. I think that's why kind of
he'll work
everybody
his
kind of
way in.
just
But
he'll get his way.
They
in.
got 4 guys that throw above 97, plus a future Hall of Famer.
Yeah, and by
in
the way, the
bullpen.
Mets just lost their closer for the full year.
Full year.
And by the way, the Phillies have all the closers. So
They have all
see you
of
later,
them.
Mets.
Right.
Good luck.
You will call us for a trade? Yes, give me everyone. Yeah, well, I'll trade you a closer for everyone. Let's start it off on the phones. Peyton in South Philly. You're on 97.5 The Fanatic. What's up, Peyton?
Hey, guys, what's going on? Love y'all show. Love the chemistry.
Thank you.
Love the hip-hop drops. Classic hip-hop drops.
Thank you.
Yeah, so I just want to say about the Phillies now, I feel like they're going to cause havoc throughout the season. They don't have to be at number 1, number 2. I'm cool with them being at number 3 or 4.
You're
And
okay with them being 3 or 4?
They got to be at least 3.
Yeah, got to be. Yeah, there's only 2. There's the third wild card, but if they're third in the division, I'm not okay with that.
Don't expect that same type of run in the playoffs. It was a run they went on. We all agree with that, with a little bit of luck mixed in.
And almost all of it on the road. I expect home games in the postseason this year. I expect skipping maybe the wild card round completely, and that changes the dynamic as well. Because remember how much road they had to be on the road at the end of the regular season, go straight to St. Louis, then go straight to Atlanta, and then they finally came home.
Wheeler and Nola doesn't have to pitch as much in the postseason if you don't have to play the first round?
Yeah, because they ran out of gas. If they don't have to pitch that first round, those 2 guys, it changed.
It would be nice having 2 weeks to have them kind of settle themselves and get all set up for the playoffs.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I feel like, the reason why I said 3 or 4, and I'm not that knowledgeable of baseball, but just observing last season, I feel like they just need to pace themselves real well and then just cause a major storm in the playoffs like they did, because they wasn't even projected to go that far last year.
Right, and you don't have to be the best team every year.
Right.
But you can't do it the way they did it every year.
No, I want to be Houston, where heading into the season, you're going to do some real damage.
Right, the Houston way is the way you want to do it. And I'm saying this team has the opportunity to do it the Houston way this year because I think they're that good. Here's your song for your chance to win the Adam Sandler or Sixers knockout tickets.
All right, let's go.
DJ, please pick up your phone on the request line.
The original or the remake?
The remake.
Missy?
Yep.
The title of the song is?
Can you work it?
That's close enough. Work it. Work it.
Close enough. Yep.
Close enough. All right, 610-632-0975. All right, we have our long segment coming up. So if you're on hold, we'll get to you. And, I'm telling you, I'm on a high right now. Watching that, even though Team USA lost, I was like, the Phillies guys played well. They didn't lose. Like, in my mind, I was like, that's all Mike Trout, no time. They got to go work that out. We're good, and I can't shake it. We'll be back here on 97.5 The Fanatic, NBC Sports Philadelphia. But, yeah, we're challenging some conventional wisdom. Like, and even the great Jason Stark, and we don't need to talk about that today necessarily, he understands why the people think the Phillies are third and it's going to be a dog fight in the NL East and all that kind of stuff. But if you have this many good players, I don't think the Braves have more good players. Not that the Braves don't always win and they're not a great organization, and they do have very good players. I think the Phillies might have more good players than almost everybody. They have so many good players.
Yeah, I agree completely. I'm almost looking at this similar to how we are with Joel Embiid.
Right.
Joel has been great over the years, but there's something this season that's different, and it puts him in a different tier, and you're like, wait a second, this is special. Adding Trey Turner to the lineup we just saw is almost me going, hold on a second. Last year was good. This year is even different, putting them in a different tier.
When they signed him, you know what I thought? That's almost unfair. I mean, when you start looking at their lineup, you're like, that's an all-star team.
Right.
I mean, in reality, it's an all-star team.
Right. And because of the playoff run, I think, because we felt it from the outside, I think they built a bunch of chemistry within that clubhouse. I don't know how much those guys actually palled around during the season. It didn't feel like they were so, in love with one another there. The playoff run, so he's coming into a group, that's pretty tight-knit. And some of the glue guys, Alvarado clearly became one. He's still there. All those guys, there's a lot of guys. Schwarber obviously he's still there. They didn't subtract any of the guys that kind of kept that group together, so that should make it. And him and Harper were already friends.
By the way, I've seen Rhys Hoskins make a couple nice plays at first base within the last weekend.
Fix that meniscus.
What hell's going on there, Rhys?
What if all of his defensive issues last year were all because of the knee?
I'm not buying it.
I can't buy it. He missed some balls. He missed some balls that went into his glove, and he just dropped.
It was because his knee he had blinding pain in the knee.
I'm unsure if he knows what foot goes on first base when he's stretching.
But he had trouble doing that because of the meniscus. I don't feel comfortable playing on this leg. Oh, it's bothering me. I got to stretch out this
Whatever
leg.
you want to think
meniscus.
is golden. Whatever you want to think is golden here.
I'm saying without my meniscus, I can't play first base with no meniscus. He got his meniscus fixed. Now look at him.
I hope you're right.
Plus 30 home runs.
Well, that's coming.
Plus 30 home runs in this lineup.
Isn't it a little weird that we never knew he went and had surgery?
Yeah, until he
got back to.
And then they were like, why?
Spring
He's here, but like, why isn't he playing?
Oh, yeah, that meniscus thing.
Meniscus.
So how many of the Phillies had some type of surgery done?
On the low? I don't know. I tell you, and you
They were blinding us with Harper.
Yep. See, it's Harper. See, look at his elbow. Delay your surgery. Yeah. See. And you made a big thing at the top. If you're just tuning in, you missed it. Ricky Bottalico, noted former All-Star and baseball expert, today said that if Castellanos has a year, the Phillies will win the World Series. See, we're not playing around here. Well, you got to take your time.
No
It's a
taking
long
time. That's a
season.
bunch of crap. Win the World Series, boys.
That's what I'm talking about.
I will go this far. We're going to have 2 parades in the next, 7 months. One could be a soccer team. But I really believe
That's all right.
I'm saying at least 2.
So think about that. Think about the calendar. Getting close. Like, you take the Flyers out on the side.
There's going to be
for a
3
moment.
teams going.
You got all these finals making it to the end. Maybe the Sixers make it to the finals and lose. And then here comes the Phillies Union Parade.
Boom, boom.
Back to back. That could happen.
I'll
Unions
take it.
do.
They're definitely
Semifinals should have won the finals. Now they win the finals.
telling you.
They're on that ladder.
Yep, they're on that ladder. Let's go back to the folks. Seth in the Lehigh Valley, believing in the Phillies. You're on 97.5 The Fanatic. What's up, Seth?
Hey, Tyrone.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good.
Hey, you actually just said one thing that I think is the X factor for the Phillies over those other teams this year is the chemistry that they built last year and that playoff run and the run to the World Series. That camaraderie and the chemistry that they built and all they did was add a few more guys to the mix. I mean, they didn't really lose much as far as what they had going in there.
No, they improved. And they may end up with a better bench. You have Sosa all year because he was a later acquisition who helped them. But they think they fixed stuff with his swing. They think you even have a better Sosa, and he plays all over the diamond.
Josh Harrison?
I know.
A veteran guy that they like. Yeah, they might even have a better bench. Not that last year's bench was bad. This one might be even better.
Yeah, and the other thing, they have the Mets, winning or being up there ahead of them, but they have 3 of their 5 starting pitchers are 36 years old or older. I mean, like,
it's hard to bank on that. Like, what are the odds that Verlander can have a sub-2 ERA again? Like, although his home life seems like it's pretty settled. Kate Upton's seems like the right missus to go with that dude.
He probably could, but with Max Scherzer last year,
Autumn Stark
I just don't know. Okay, so you remove Max Scherzer and you put him in there.
Yeah.
Aren't they kind of the same pitching staff to a degree? I don't think that they're like 5 times better than where they were last year because they now have Verlander.
And their bullpen has to be weaker. Robertson's their closer.
Phillies don't have a problem with Verlander.
Yeah, they
hit him in the World Series.
Yeah, they hit him, and their bullpen has to be worse. I mean, it's for an unfortunate reason, but Robertson's now their closer. Now, maybe they'll go and add somebody else later on, but for the first half of the year, Robertson's their closer. And he's fine, but he's not great. Phillies have 3 or 4 relievers better than Robertson.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it.
Yeah, so they're in good shape.
Think about this. Robertson was signed here, 5-6 years ago for that 1 year as a closer.
I apologize. I meant DeGrom's no longer there. It's Scherzer and Verlander. Yeah, DeGrom no longer there.
We see DeGrom opening day.
Yeah, that'll be interesting to see. Here's your song, though, Seth, for your chance to win either Adam Sandler or Sixers tickets. '80s song there, Seth.
Well, that's The Cure.
Yep.
And I think it's In Between Days.
Oh, that's not. Do you know?
Is it I'll Stop the World and Melt with You?
Sorry.
No? I was wrong?
Just Like Heaven.
Well, it didn't matter if I was right or wrong.
No, it would have. You'd have saved
missed it.
Right, you would have saved him.
Oh, I'm not
Yeah,
all
you would have
there.
saved him. Yeah, it was Just Like Heaven. Now, Booney's 2 for 2 so far. The next one is a Hunter save.
You got it, buddy.
You got this one. So you take it easy, Ricky?
He's saying no.
Well,
already.
I don't like the see if you went in going, he's gonna get it wrong. I think the bar
We
set
said that
low.
last week, and you got it wrong. This week, I believe
got it.
I think you are going to go 4 for 4.
And that's
today.
a bunch of garbage. I was saying last week that every one of them I thought you would get.
I
Right.
appreciate that.
All right, so now maybe Berkeley gets it on his own. But if not, Hunter has the save of this one coming up. And Berkeley and Philly, you're on 97.5 The Fanatic. What's up, Berkeley?
Hey, what's going on, everybody?
How you doing?
I'm all right. I just want to say about tonight about the little matchup in Chicago
Mm-hmm.
that we're gonna get a little bit of vengeance and I think I'm not too sure, but if we win, I think we'll probably get back in that 2 seed, and I really do see us getting that 1 seed at the end of the season. I really do. I think we really got a chance.
They do have a chance. Now, here's the thing. You win. What they have to do over the next 4 is go 2-2. I was talking about this with Devon yesterday. You got Chicago, Warriors, Suns on a back-to-back, and then Denver 3 games in 4 nights in altitude. Win tonight, win one of that back-to-back, and then if you're caring about the Sixers, that's what's realistic. Obviously, you want to go win every game. But 3 and 4 nights out west with the 3rd game being Denver is unfair. They're going to be tired because it's 3 games in 4 nights. And then you have to do that at altitude. That seems like the schedule makers kind of like make that was not great by the schedule makers. But if they go 2-2 the next 4, then they come home for a couple games. They will be lined up to make because they still have a game against both the Celtics and the Bucks. So as long as they win today, I don't care how they do it. If they go 2-2 the next 4, I think they have a realistic shot to get the 2 seed. If they go worse than 2-2 the next 4, then I think it becomes a challenge because there are only like 11 games left in the year.
Man, 4 for 4 on the road trip. I got as much confidence as I did in the last one.
I hear you, but I'm telling you, you have to
This
go.
is a little different.
Warriors there, Suns there, 1 day off, and then at Denver. Trust me, very few teams in the history of the league would go 4-0. Chicago, Golden State, San Francisco, Phoenix, Denver. That's not the easiest travel in the world.
And by the way, they're leaving Chicago tonight. They'll get into
San Francisco
early in the morning tomorrow.
It's an 8 o'clock game.
And then they play the next day, 2 in a row.
Unfortunately, there are schedule losses. We saw it with Miami, and then they flew to Dallas. It's just how it goes.
Sometimes this happens.
Although they seem to be road warriors.
No, they're very good on the road. Here is your song, Berkeley, for your chance for Sixers or Adam Sandler tickets.
They wish and they wish and they wish and they wish and they wish on me. Yeah.
Oh my goodness! Remember, I called yesterday about my top 5. He was on my top 5. God's playing Drake.
There it is.
There it is.
All
right.
That one was easy.
But you knew it,
Yeah,
right?
you guys.
You had it.
If there are layups like that, we might be in business.
Well,
they're trying to give you layups.
I know. I even had Missy Elliott for the first goal.
Well, you can jump in and other people get it wrong. With any of these some are just for you. But yeah, he was on his top 5. I'm just saying. I thought I was giving you layups the whole time. Everyone so far that's been 100 saying, I assumed you knew, and you did know the words of almost all of them.
I know.
So, I mean, it's not like, all right.
Is there any Barry Manilow on the list?
Oh, there's other stuff. Let's go back to the phones. Mark in Ridley Park. You're on 97.5 The Fanatic. What's up, Mark?
How you guys doing? Love the show.
Thank you. How are you?
This road trip coming up. What are the 2 losses that you would see? You said you had them going 2-2. I see the Suns and Denver probably being the 2 losses.
It could be war. Are you on speakerphone or something?
Yeah, I got you off. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I think it could be Warriors. Nuggets would be the. I don't think you could beat the Nuggets 3 games in 4 nights at altitude.
And the Warriors are just so good at home. It's crazy how they're just such a different team at home.
That's
8-29 away.
8-29.
29-7 at home.
It's unbelievable. Since February 1st, they're like 11-1 at home and 1-11 on the road, or something ridiculous like that. So unfortunately, you're getting them there. So I think the Warriors, then they come back and beat the Suns, and then they lose to Denver. That's just because it's 3 games in 4 nights. Like I think that's just unfair at altitude. It's like ridiculous.
Yeah, I agree. And the second part to this is, do you see any situation where maybe even towards the end of the season or going into the playoffs where they transition, whether it be a matchup problem or what, where they transition Maxey back to the bench?
Nope. It didn't work. And it wasn't necessarily just for the team. It didn't work for him. He's not ready yet to anchor a second unit. Now, by next year, he should be able to. Like Harden does that. If you notice, when Harden's with the bench churns because Harden's like that. Maxi's not yet ready to be the guy with that second unit. He needs Harden and or Embiid to create space for him. He's not ready to create space for others yet.
And I was okay with trying it because, in theory, I think it's something that should be able to work. So, some are a little upset with Doc and were screaming
it was a
at
little
him.
sporadic, though, for Maxey. I thought he was sporadic off the bench.
He kept it with it for 7-8 straight games, and he just powdered his way out of it.
No. I'm talking before he went on that hot streak.
It was
the
worse.
hot streak happened when he came back to starting.
Yeah,
he just powdered on the bench. Yeah, he tried it. It didn't work. So, yeah, here is your song for your chance to win Sixers or Adam Sandler tickets.
Okay. Oh, my God. The mighty mighty ball. Is it the impression? The impression?
Is that close enough, Jen? All right.
I think so. The impression that I get.
The impression that I get.
Yeah.
So, all right.
Impression was the hard word.
Go ahead, say something, Hunt.
I wasn't saying anything.
He's going back to last week. I could feel it.
A little bit. A little bit. I said I'm too sexy. It was way too sexy.
Well, that's different.
I'm too sexy was right, said Fred.
He didn't say impressionable.
Right.
He said the impression. He just cut it short.
Right. And that's the meat of the title.
I'm a man of the people, so I want them to win.
Of course.
I don't know if he had just said that I get. I would have said no.
I would probably have said no, yeah.
You got the hardest part.
I thought too sexy was the hardest part of way too sexy.
No, way is the important part. Because too sexy
is another song.
Yeah. Way was had you got just way too, we'd have been like, yeah.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, because way too would have been differentiated.
Probably would have said way too what? Way too what?
Yeah, then you would have got
said
it.
Sexy,
Yeah, you missed the first word.
You guys are full of it.
No, we're not.
We're not.
Full of it.
We're not.
Right
know our
said
rules,
Fred did the other one.
We follow them.
Right. Those are the rules. Okay? I don't know why you're trying to flaunt the rules over there. It's your generation's problem. Rules are rules. They apply to everyone.